8:45 p.m. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The news, edited by Lakshman Fonseca and read by Mario Vijayavardhana. The headlines. The President launches the International Climate Change University at COP28. The President meets with Bill Gates. A new tourism data system to enhance the hotel industry. The government allocates 517 billion rupees for provincial education ministries. The construction of the East Container Terminal of the Colombo port will be completed by mid-next year. A U.S. judge blocks Montana's TikTok ban citing free speech. President Ranil Wickremesinghe disclosed a visionary plan aimed at addressing the challenges of global warming and securing sustainable development for nations within the tropical belt at COP28 held in Dubai, COP28. The President's Media Division PMD reports that the President's speech highlighted the need for a paradigm shift in climate funding and a multilateral approach to achieve meaningful results. President Wickremesinghe stressed the uncertainties surrounding the 2030 target for peaking global temperatures. He added the 50-50 chance of meeting this crucial goal and questioned the feasibility of expecting substantial financial contributions from governments. He also proposed a courageous approach that involves both tropical and non-tropical countries, as well as collaboration between the government and the private sector. He said the Tropical Belt Initiative focuses on harnessing commercial investments in vital natural resources within the tropical belt, such as forests, swamps and mangroves. President Wickremesinghe emphasized the importance of making these investments commercially viable, unlocking the funds needed to combat global warming. He also highlighted the initiative's potential to attract private sector involvement, contributing to the ambitious goal of securing trillions of dollars annually. Furthermore, President Wickremesinghe emphasized the efforts in the Indian Ocean is envisioned to become the world's largest global sink for carbon. The President also revealed discussions with world leaders including Maldivian President, the Kenyan President, the President Lula of Brazil and the French President, showcasing widespread interest in the initiative. President Ranil Wickremesinghe met with Bill Gates, the co-chair of the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, today. The President's Media Division said at the meeting, the discussions revolved around collaborative efforts to address global challenges and enhance Sri Lanka's pivotal role in the world's tropical belt. The PMD said the Microsoft co-founder expressed the commitment of his foundation to support Sri Lanka in building a robust and climate-resilient nation. The PMD added that the Melinda Gates Foundation is already involved in initiatives in Sri Lanka and pledged to deepen its engagement with the country. Specific areas of focus include agriculture modernization and the establishment of data systems for agriculture. The collaboration also aims to strengthen digital public infrastructure and enhance Sri Lanka's expertise in climate adaptation. President Wickremesinghe has also highlighted Sri Lanka's green initiatives presented at COP28, seeking the support of the Foundation in advancing these sustainable projects. The President has emphasized the need for collective action to address pressing environmental issues and underscored Sri Lanka's willingness to play a constructive role in the global effort. The Minister of Environment, Dr. Kehele Rabukwala, the Senior Advisor to the President on Climate Change, Ruwan Vijayavardhana, and the Secretary to the Ministry of Environment, Dr. Anil Jayasinghe, also participated in the meeting. The Sri Lanka Tourism Development Authority (SLTDA) has introduced a new tourism data system. The SLTDA chairman Priyantha Fernando said the system will provide up-to-date data on tourist arrivals, demographics, spending patterns and other key metrics. He added that the data will be used to inform tourism policies and marketing decisions and to track progress towards sustainable tourism goals. He also said that the new system will be a valuable tool for the tourism industry and it will help the authority to better understand the tourists and their requirements. This news broadcast comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The government has allocated 517 billion rupees for provincial education ministries. The Minister of Education, Dr. Susil Premajan, says it is an increase of 55 billion rupees compared to last year's allocation. He added measures will be taken to distribute school textbooks and uniform materials at the beginning of the year. Apart from it, the government has also planned to provide free midday meals for 1.6 million school children and provide shoe vouchers for over 7,000 students. The Minister of Education disclosed these plans when he met the Mahanayaka Thera of the Malvathu chapter, the Most Reverend Tibetuave Sri Sumangala Thero in Kandy this morning. The construction of the East Container Terminal ECT at the Colombo port is to be completed by mid-next year. The Ministry of Ports, Shipping and Aviation said the jetty plan for this terminal will be 1,400 metres long upon completion, allowing 3 mega ships to berth simultaneously. Minister Nimalsa De Silva said a total of $585 in million has been allocated for the development of the terminal through financial provisions by the Sri Lanka Ports Authority. He said construction works are currently in progress and China Engineering and Access Engineering are the appointed construction contractors. Minister Silva said the ECT will feature 12 cranes and 40 transfer cranes. The terminal's container yard area is estimated to be 75 hectares, designed to handle 3 million containers annually. The minister added the ECT will operate as a semi-automated terminal incorporating digital technology. The minister highlighted after completion of the construction work the potential for the port of Colombo will be recognized as one of the main ports in Asia.
The main news story is brought to you by Sinhala Mahatma.
Pakistan and Sri Lanka are ready to deepen and strengthen long-standing cooperation in the political, economic and cultural domains. It was disclosed at a meeting between Pakistan's caretaker Prime Minister Anwarul-Haq Khakar and the Sri Lankan President Ranil Wickremesinghe on the sidelines of the COP28 summit in Dubai today. The two leaders expressed satisfaction over the close and amicable nature of the bilateral relations between the two countries, highlighting the goodwill towards the people of both nations, focusing on enhancing people-to-people ties. At the meeting, the Sri Lankan President highlighted Sri Lanka's efforts and initiatives to overcome economic challenges and the crisis of excessive debt. Pakistan's caretaker Prime Minister Anwarul-Haq Khakar in turn briefed the Sri Lankan President on Pakistan's endeavours for economic upliftment.
The main news story was brought to you by Sinhala Mahatma.
And now in Watchlight, the obesity levels of school children in the Colombo district have increased to 8%. The Director of Maternal Child Health Family Health Bureau, Dr. Chitramali De Silva, says children tend to consume foods more in carbohydrates due to the difficulty of buying protein-rich foods, and it is a reason for the increase in obesity levels. Dr. Chitramali added the trend of rising child obesity levels will have a negative impact on their future, and it will lead to an increased number of people infected with non-communicable diseases. Dr. Chitramali also warns the students will also get diabetes, high blood pressure and heart issues in the future. That came to you in Watchlight. In World News headlines now. UN climate talks go big on ending fossil fuels. Bologna's Leaning Tower sealed off over fears it could collapse. US judge blocks Montana's TikTok ban citing free speech. Countries and oil companies at the UN climate talks have promised to make major progress in tackling global warming in a large new energy pledge. Around 100 countries promised to treble world renewable energy use by 2030, and 50 oil and gas companies, including Saudi giant Aramco, pledged to stop adding to planet-warming gases by 2050. That only covers emissions from production, not the burning of fossil fuels, and critics said it would not meaningfully tackle climate change. But countries pledging to triple renewable energy at the COP28 summit in Dubai said it would help remove fossil fuels from the world's energy system by 2050 at the latest. Supporters, including the EU and COP28 host country, the United Arab Emirates, want the pledge to be included in the final deal made at COP, meaning all of the nearly 200 countries represented here would sign up. Climate groups cautiously welcomed the promise to ramp up renewables, but said that promises by oil and gas companies were greenwashing. The number of English bathing sites rated as unfit to swim has risen to its highest level since a new rating system was introduced in 2015. A total of 423 popular swimming sites, mostly beaches, were tested by the Environment Agency this summer for types of pollution that are known to be a risk to bathers' health. 18 were poor, the highest since the new rating system was brought in. The EA said the wet summer could have contributed to the results. This is because an increase in rain means more water running off roads and fields, which can bring more pollution into waterways. A total of 281 bathing sites were rated excellent by the UK government's environment watchdog, which is 21 fewer than last year. A similar number of bathing sites reached minimum standards sufficient or better when compared to 2015, but in each of the last 3 years, the number of bathing sites rated as poor has gone up. A U.S. judge has blocked Montana's ban on TikTok, saying it violated the free speech rights of users. In May, Montana became the first U.S. state to pass the ban, which was scheduled to take effect on the 1st of January. The short video sharing app, which is owned by China's ByteDance, sued Montana a week later. U.S. District Judge Donald Molloy agreed with TikTok, saying that it violates the Constitution in more ways than one and oversteps state power. The law would have made it illegal for app stores to offer TikTok, and firms would have faced penalties of up to $10,000. It added that hundreds of thousands of Montanans can continue to express themselves, earn a living and find a community on TikTok. The Office of Montana's state attorney told Reuters that it was considering its next steps to defend the law that protects Montanans from the Chinese Communist Party obtaining and using their data. Montana, which has a population of just over 1 million, banned the app from government devices last December. TikTok says it has 150 million American users, the majority of whom are in their teens and 20s. And now the main points of the world news segment once again. UN climate talks go big on ending fossil fuels. Bologna's leaning tower sealed off over fears it could collapse. US judge blocks Montana's TikTok ban, citing free speech. That was world news, and now in development news, the Ministry of Agriculture has decided to plant coffee in a land of 400 hectares in 2024. Minister Mahinda Amarveera says that an allocation of 400 million rupees has been made to achieve this objective. He further noted that this is implemented in order to re-promote coffee as a plantation crop, considering the high demand for Sri Lankan coffee in the global market. The minister said that an amount of 1 million rupees will be allocated per each hectare of coffee. 96 billion rupees have been allocated to the Ministry of Agriculture by the 2024 budget. Minister Mahinda Amarveera made these remarks at a discussion held at the ministry on the topic of effective utilization of the budget allocation recently. That was development news, and now in sports news, a survey by World Athletics has found that 3/4 of athletes have been directly impacted by climate change. Athletes highlighted negative effects on performance and health, with 85% saying the sport in general has suffered because of the climate crisis. The survey also revealed 90% of those questioned believe the sport's governing body would also help to rebuild a more sustainable future. World Athletics President Sebastian Coe said the concerns are loud and clear. He added nearly 400 athletes who competed at the World Athletics Championships in Budapest in August took part in what is the organization's 3rd annual survey. The survey also demonstrated how grassroots sports have struggled to thrive in conditions such as flooding. World Athletics 2023 results are an increase on last year's survey, when 72% believed climate change had negatively affected the sport and 66% reported a direct impact. Athletes also raised the issue of air pollution, with 83% saying they were very concerned.
Go ekatiyana youth ekata life eke change ekata niyameta set wenna as wahagena dagapu veena habe kalanna youth ekata niyameta set wenna friendship eka menna.
The all-new NSB Ithru Mithru account, NSB IM, a plan for your dream.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
The University of Peradeniya is planning to become an international campus that enriches the experience of foreign students and also to engage in a digital transformation. The Vice-Chancellor, Professor M.D. Lamabansa, said there was a notable increase in the presence of foreign students on the campus, underscoring its growing appeal internationally. He added the Postgraduate Institute of Science and the Faculty of Management have been promoting and bringing in foreign students.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Go ekatiyana youth ekata life eke change ekata niyameta set wenna as wahagena dagapu veena habe kalanna youth ekata niyameta set wenna friendship eka menna.
The all-new NSB Ithru Mithru account, NSB IM, a plan for your dream.
And now in economic news.
Sri Lanka will lose an estimated $22 million approximately following International Cricket Council's ICC's decision to shift the Under-19 World Cup from Sri Lanka to South Africa. Analysts said the 16-team tournament was originally scheduled from January 13 to February 4th across 5 venues in Colombo. However, the escalation of hostilities between the Sports Minister Radha Ranasinghe and Sri Lanka Cricket has forced an ICC suspension on the SLC. Tournament Director Samantha Durandala said the SLC was to receive a sum of $2.4 million as host rights fees and further $15.6 million to conduct the tournament. That was the economic news, and now for the weather report. The Met Department has received a red warning for strong winds and rough seas for the naval and fishing communities. The department said sea areas will be very rough in the deep and shallow sea areas in the southwest Bay of Bengal. The deep depression of the southwest Bay of Bengal has intensified into a cyclonic storm near the Sri Lanka sea area. The cyclonic storm has been named Meghjao. The Met Department added the system is expected to move northwestward near the north coast of Sri Lanka towards the north Tamil Nadu coast of India. The naval and fishing communities are advised not to venture into the relevant areas of the sea during the next 24 to 48 hours. That was the weather report, and now the headlines of this news broadcast once again. The President launches the International Climate Change University at COP28. The President meets with Bill Gates. A new tourism data system to enhance the hotel industry. The government has allocated 517 billion rupees for provincial education ministries. The construction of the East Container Terminal of the Colombo Port will be completed by mid-next year. A U.S. judge blocks Montana's TikTok ban, citing free speech. That concludes this news broadcast. You're with Radio Sri Lanka.